Well, I'm Joe Edd Morris, from New Albany, Mississippi, living in Tupelo, Mississippi. I'm here because I have been fortunate and honored to receive the Mississippi Library Association Best Fiction of 2020 Award. And I've got a nice little plaque here to show for it. I actually received the same award in 2003 for Land Where My Fathers Died, and this book is a sequel of Land Where My Fathers Died. I do know that in the years that they've been offering this award, and it tickles my narcissism just a touch to say this, that I've won it twice, and the only other person is Greg Iles. So it's kind of nice to have had the honor 2 times. The Prison is a story of a young minister who's wrongly convicted of murder, and it's a story of his unjust imprisonment. His aging grandfather and 6-year-old daughter worked together to solve the murder, and in the process of their working to try to solve it, they uncover a domestic terror plot to blow up a number of bridges on the Mississippi River, which would have been devastating to the economy and the country. Well, I've worked in 2 maximum security private prisons. That's not where the concept came from. But when I was working in one of them, I was trying to come up with an idea for the sequel to Land Where My Fathers Died, and came up with the idea that became the theme of the book. Well, 3 things: never give up, and 2, read, and read as much as you can. And number 3, never throw anything away. If you're writing, if you think you need to delete something, then save it in a file that you can call it scraps, or you can call it takeaways or whatever. And the other thing would be to begin with short stories and submit them to presses, short story literary presses, and the less well-known the press, the better. In other words, don't start out at the top. Send your short stories to those smaller presses and get started in that way. That's a piece of advice that was given to me by the Richard Howarth of Square Books. He told me that 25, 30 years ago, and I have had some short stories published, and they started being published by the smaller presses, and then it got a little bigger and a little more recognized literary presses. I don't know that I would be here today if it were not for the Union County Library, the services that were available to me as I was growing up as a child. I remember when they were renovating the courthouse, and the library started out in the courthouse, and they had to move books while they were renovating. There was a house adjacent to or next door to the United Methodist Church. It was the Methodist Church then, not the United Methodist Church. But I had my piano lessons there. A lady named Laura Boughton was my piano teacher, but all these books, when I was taking my piano lesson, there were all these books stacked around the walls that belonged to the Union County Library. So they were surrounding me even when I was learning how to play the piano. I would like them to know that writing is 1% inspiration and 99% hard work, putting yourself in a chair and writing in a disciplined fashion. I try to write 2 to 3 hours every day. I didn't say that. William Faulkner said that. And I say that in conjunction with my number 1 advice is never give up. Keep on, because at some point the 1% inspiration kicks in, And it may be just a fleeting moment when I see how this connects to this, and you go back and rewrite. But without the hard work, those inspirational moments are far and few between. I've been fortunate to have more of them, but that's because I'm disciplined and I write every day. I used to get up at 4 in the morning and write for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'd take a nap and then get up for the rest of the day. I don't do that now, but I do get up. I write every day, but some days, some nights when I can't sleep, it may be 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I'm not going to fight sleep. I get up and I write, and then I go back to bed. And so I'm 78 years young and still at it, and will still keep at it. And the important thing, though, is to write, and to write every day. One other thing, Stephen King wrote this book on writing, which is a wonderful little book to read. You can read it in an afternoon. It's filled with humor and inspiration, and it's very illuminating. But he says in there, to be a writer, you got to do 2 things: stay healthy and stay married. And I would add a third thing to that: marry an English teacher. Sandy is my #1 editor, and I attribute a lot of my success to her taking no prisoners in the manuscripts that she reads. All right, thank you, Evelyn, as always.